All right, welcome back, everybody, to Shanghai. And we've got Novak Djokovic coming up next, and he's taking on Bergs. Winner of this is going to play in the semi-finals. This tournament is so random. Not Runa, because Runa lost. He's going to take on, the winner of this is going to take on the qualifier Vacheron. Vacheron? I'm going to have to figure out how to say that name. Who beat Runa in the last round. Also took out Bublik, Mahatch, Griekspoor along the way. Of course, Griekspoor he got the victory over Sinner. That's why Djokovic has had this clear road to the final. It hasn't been easy for Djokovic, so don't get confused. Don't be saying like, oh, how easy is Djokovic's road? It's been very tough. Physically, very tough. And this match is going to be very tough too, because Bergs is a very energetic opponent, very dangerous player. It's funny because the top half of the draw is Medvedev, de Minaur, Auger-Aliassime, and Ren-Dirk-Nesh. 3 out of 4 names that we're familiar with at this stage, but like at this stage of tournaments like this. But yeah, very strange event, Shanghai. It's taken everybody out. Also, we have the women's Wuhan event. Swiatek's playing in 30 minutes, so we're going to be watching her. But Sabalenka Raducanu tomorrow. That's exciting. That's a very exciting matchup. Very important match too for Raducanu to try and qualify for the WTA finals. Two of the hardest hitting players of the tour playing each other, so that's gonna be fun. We'll watch that one tomorrow, whenever that is. So yeah. So I don't know when the schedule's not out yet, which is a bit weird, but yeah. That is very fun. Nole is the top seed of the quarters. Yep. He sure is. He sure is. Congrats on 7 years, Cam, of the channel. I've been watching since 2019. Hey, Rishi. Thank you for sticking around for that long. Yeah, 7 years yesterday/today. Which is crazy. Crazy. Is Medvedev doing anything different this week? I don't know. I haven't watched him much. We'll probably watch him tomorrow to see what's up. We'll see what he looks like tomorrow. It'll be a physical match against Demon. Also, yeah, Raducanu took out Noskova pretty easily too. Straight sets, straightforward. Yeah. Happy 7 years. Keep up the amazing work. No worries. Thank you, Nicola. Appreciate it. All right. Players about to walk out on court, and then we will begin. By the way, chat, took apart the clock to clean it up. I need to get brass cleaner those because I'm not going to muck around with that. But I tell you, every time you go to the thrift store, you've got to clean what you get. It doesn't matter what it is. You gotta clean it. You gotta clean it because yeah. There's dirt all over the thing. $204 Vacheron waiting in the semis. That's it. Yep. When was the last time a quali won a Masters 1000? I don't think any qualifiers won. I don't think so. I think the furthest they've gotten is make a final. I don't think a qualifier's won a 1000 title before. I could be wrong. But I can't recall. Not recently anyway. Raducanu got a 98% of first serves in. Her match is crazy. That is crazy. That is insane. All right, here we go. Let's see if Djokovic vomits today. That's the that'll be the That'll be the big sign, because Djokovic obviously has been throwing up the last 2 matches, so we'll see. Not his big last chance, don't you think? I mean, not maybe not last chance, but definitely a big chance for sure. But like we said earlier, people were saying as soon as Sinner lost, it's like, oh, Djokovic's going to win. Well, no, Medvedev, De Minaur, Auger-Aliassime. I mean, De Minaur, I feel like De Minaur might be Djokovic's hardest task, because physically, Demon is going to, if he doesn't have to play tough matches himself, Demon is going to push Djokovic's physicality to the limit, and we've seen that's been a bit of an issue this week. Like, Djokovic has been pushed to the limit, and he's gotten through, but Demon pushing him would be very, and Medvedev too, right? Both of those guys can, but the problem with Medi is that he's also had physical issues. So, but Demon is a beast, and that's going to be scary for Djokovic if it is a physical match with Demon, considering he has struggled physically a little bit this week. So, yeah. All right. Players on court. They will warm up, and then we'll get going. All right. Match starts in like 5 minutes. And then we've got Swiatek, Bencic coming up as well. Now it is a busy, busy time. Lowest ranked player to win a 1,000 was 550 in the world. Chris Woodruff in Indian Wells 99. Okay, there you go. All right, here we go. They're warming up. Well, they're about to warm up. And then we are ready to go. Yeah, Shanghai finals on Sunday. Yep. Can Bencic win today? Maybe. I think Swiatek's going to have some tough work to do. They're just getting photos, and then we will begin. They'll begin the warm-up. All right. So yeah, winner of this will take on the qualifier who just took out Rune in a shock upset. Rune was winning too when I was watching. He was up like a set but then I think Rune started to cramp. Is that what happened? Rune's cramping got in the way, and then he just wasn't able to finish the match. By the way, winner of this gets a day off tomorrow as well. So semi-finals are on for Saturday. Can Djokovic win Shanghai? Of course. Of course. Of the remaining players, which of them would you say has struggled the least in the tournament physically? I haven't seen Demon or Felix, but I know Medvedev has, and I know Djokovic has. I don't know about Bergs if he has had any physical issues. I'm not sure about Rinderk Nesh either, but out of the contenders, I would say that De Minaur and FAA are the only ones that haven't. But then again, maybe Felix has, and I haven't seen it. But I don't think Demon has had any physical issues. He mentioned that it was hard, but he didn't. He hasn't had, as far as I know, he hasn't had any issues. And Felix hasn't dropped any sets. He's won everything in straight. So, whereas I know Medvedev and Djokovic definitely have had issues in their matches. So yeah. So is that the answer? Is that good? Is your answer? All right. And Djokovic, last two matches have gone 3 sets. In the last 2 matches, he's been sick in both. Bergs is going to shock the world. You heard it here first. But the problem is that if he doesn't, you're not going to be here to tell us that you were wrong. So, you know what I mean? Like, if he does, you're going to be here and shouting from the rooftops. But if he doesn't, and Djokovic wins, you're going to disappear. And, yeah, so who cares? You heard it here first. Cool. We'll see. I think this match is actually better for Djokovic because physically, Bergs has been through it as well. He's had some tough matches, but also Bergs is not from the little I've seen of him, he doesn't play a game like a physical game. He plays an aggressive game. So the points will probably be shorter, which will help Djokovic. So he doesn't have to play these long rallies like he did against Munar. I know Bergs has got a great defense at times, but from the little I've seen of him, he's kind of like Lehechka, right? He likes to be aggressive. He kind of tries to hit winners. He's not out there to grind, So he might be able to hit the ball past Djokovic or whatever, but I don't think Nole is going to be... They're not going to play 40-shot rallies, I don't think. Which is probably good for Djokovic because we've seen the last couple of matches where he's had to play a little bit more of a grindy game. It's taken a toll. So this might be better if Bergs is trying to hit winners or making winners or hitting errors. You know what I mean? That'll be great for Djokovic because then that way it's like, oh, cool, I don't have to be out here for as long and I don't have to grind. But again, I've only watched Bergs a couple of times, so I'm not sure. Maybe he is a demon or defensive beast, and we will find that out today. I've got ADHD, so I'll probably forget to come back later. Okay. Touche. This match still won't be as awesome as the 7-year channel anniversary. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. I hope it is, though, because it would be good to have a good match on the 7-year channel anniversary. It's a little bit breezy out there as well, by the way. Bergs is extremely weak. Yeah, but you said that about every Djokovic opponent. You said it about Munar, you said it about Hanfman, you said it about Cilic, you said about every single player that Djokovic ever plays. So we can't... You're a terrible guide. You know what I mean? You say everybody who plays Djokovic is terrible. So then, therefore, nobody's terrible and we can't take you seriously. You think everyone's weak. You're like, okay, but you don't... You say that about everyone. So it's irrelevant. Back in a backhand rally. Djokovic in 3 for me. As Bergs hits a drop shot, Nole gets over the slice. And then Bergs with a forehand in the net. Now, Bergs can't be missing it like that. He's got to make every point count because he is playing Novak Djokovic, the greatest of all time. He can't be giving away free points because the last 2 guys that Djokovic has played didn't give away free points, and look what happened. It was a very taxing night. Now, Bergs has got to be clean. All right, 15 love. Like I said, Swiatek's coming up in about 15, 20 minutes. So we're obviously going to watch her as well, as we have for years. Against Bencic, which is very interesting. All right. Backhand rally. As Bergs into the backhand of Djokovic. Bergs to the backhand of the forehand of Djokovic. And Djokovic in the net. 15-all. As Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic goes forehand again to the forehand of Bergs. Then Djokovic in the net. Bergs making Nole run. And remember, Nole had that ankle problem as well in the last match. He had that weird, like, we thought it was like cramp, but it was kind of like, it was more just the ankle than the muscles. It was weird. Remember he had that weird issue with his leg? And he was vomiting, which a whole nother problem. But let's see if Bergs can make Nole sweat and work for it. 30-all. Missed the start of the stream. What's the 7-4? 7 years of watching tennis and streaming it. 7 years of streaming. 7 years of streams. All right, 30-all. As Djokovic serves in the front of Bergs. Bergs hits wide. 40-30. 40-30. Nole to take the first game of the match. So yeah, technically it was yesterday. But because yesterday we only did a couple of streams and most people weren't here. And also yesterday was the 8th of October for me, and some of you it was the 7th, so I extended the party to today as well. All right, first game, Djokovic, 1-love. So I extended to a 24-hour celebration. All right, Nole, first game, 1-love. One zero. All right. First match I streamed was a Nick Kyrgios match. I think it was like a first round match in Shanghai 2018. 2018, Kyrgios versus Klein. And Kyrgios was winning and then unfortunately got pissed off and started losing and then ended up losing. It's still, you can go watch it. Matches on the channel still. A lot has changed since then. As the backhand goes to the net by Djokovic and it's 15-love. Love. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic, and then Djokovic hits it wide. 30-love. Love. The actual date is the 8th of October. As with a drop shot from Bergs, Djokovic puts up a lob. Bergs going to run backwards and hit a tweener, but it's wide. Ooh, wasn't bad attempt. 30-15. I think Rune will take this Masters just because of the conditions. Say Rune? Was that it was a typo? As in Holger Rune? You mean Demonor? Or Medvedev? Chat, you tell him. I'm not telling him. I don't want to break a heart. You be the heart. You break the heart. All right. You do it. It's on you. You do it. 40-15. You tell him. I'm not telling him. Ah, 40-15. I can't do it. I can't tell him. You're going to have to do it, chat. You're going to have to tell him. Ah, 40-15. Ace out wide. Great serve by Bergs. All right. 1-all. Ah, 1-1. As Djokovic gets the first point, 15 love. Djokovic serves again. All right, backhand rally. As Bergs goes down the line to the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs forehand. And then Djokovic back into the net. That's 15-all. 15-all. Thank you, Surya. Appreciate it. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. Where you going? You toy? All right, 15-0. As Bergs hits a backhand long, and it's 30-15. As Djokovic serves again. Return goes in the backhand of Djokovic. Bergs backhand. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs backhand again. The backhand of Djokovic. Into the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand down the line. Bergs with the slice. Goes long. 40-15. Djokovic goes into the backhand slice of Bergs. As Djokovic forehand down the line. Bergs can't get it. No, 2-1. 2-1 Djokovic. Was that a cat or a dog? No, it was a dog. All right, Djokovic leads. 2-1. All right, Swiatek and Bencic about to start as well. We're about to get go on court, so we'll get that started as well. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Swiatek Djokovic doubleheader. Djokovic is up 2-1. Swiatek about to start against Bencic. Winner plays Palini. So it's getting pretty interesting, this tournament. Djokovic, he'll play against a qualifier on Saturday in the semis. But another Swiatek Djokovic doubleheader. Seems like we've done this a lot lately. I just keep putting them on at the same time. I guess because they're prime time players, right? They're putting them on at prime time for China. But Bencic and Swiatek played at Wimbledon. Swiatek got an easy win. But Bencic has been a problem for Swiatek in the past. She is not someone that that Swiatek can take lightly. 1 second, chat. Ah, 15-0. Ladies walking out of court as well. There's Djokovic backhand. Into the backhand of Bergs. Backhand of Djokovic to the forehand of Bergs. And the backhand of Djokovic is Bergs falling down the line. Djokovic is there with the backhand cross court. Bergs' backhand goes long, 15-30. And Djokovic is very tired after that rally. Some exhausting rallies for both guys. 25-shot rally. Ouch. 15-30. And look, Djokovic fans, I know what you're going to say, so I'm not talking to you right now. But chat, how does Djokovic beat de Minaur if they play in the final? Because Demon is going to do what all these guys have done the last couple of matches, but he's going to do it like Demon is the brick wall. He's going to get every shot back. He's going to make Djokovic play 40-shot rallies, and he's not going to get tired because Nole's playing 25-shot rallies against guys like Bergs and stuffed. How's he going to beat de Minaur? Maybe if Demon's nervous because it's a final, but like that's going to be, I mean, Demon's got to be his worst nightmare. Djokovic, I know he's not looking forward to the final yet, but if de Minaur loses, that's huge for Djokovic. But I reckon Demon's the biggest problem for Djokovic. Medvedev could be, but Medvedev's had his issues too. So, and I don't know what Felix could do, but Demon's consistency and in these conditions, he's going to wear Djokovic down. And we've seen Nole's been worn down this week, by lesser players, right? So I feel like if look, I would love Demon to win it, but I don't know if he's going to beat Djokovic in a final of a 1,000. That would be, to win your first 1,000, you beat Djokovic. That's pretty impressive. But I don't know. I feel like Demon is just going to be such a problem for Djokovic if they play. If this is the Djokovic that makes the final, right? If Djokovic gets tired after 3 games and is feeling it, right? So I feel like if you're a Djokovic fan, you're hoping that Demon's gone, because if Demon goes, then Djokovic has a good final, or like a good path, because he probably beats Medvedev, he probably beats everybody else, right? Anyways, advantage Bergs. Advantage Bergs. As that goes out on the 400 Bergs when we get back to deuce. All right, deuce. As a return from Djokovic goes in the 400 Bergs. Bergs goes behind Djokovic. Smart shot. And it's advantage Bergs. Advantage Bergs. As a return goes in the 400 Bergs. Bergs puts it away. And it's 2-0. All right, ladies on court, they're just warming up. And then we will begin. By the way, chat, exciting news. Apparently my supercharged Game Boy Advance is on its way. I've been grinding out Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Yellow anyway, on the other Game Boy I have. And I already have 2 badges. I'm just getting my team ready for the 3rd badge against Sarge, Lieutenant Sarge. I've been on the SSN. I got the HM01 cut. Taught that to Bulbasaur. And I'm going to take on my 3rd gym. And I kicked Gary's ass again. Gary, you can get stuffed. I kicked his ass again on the boat. I beat him up with a Nidorino. And his stupid Eevee, weak. I think I'm like 3-0 against Gary. He got no chance. Sorry, Sarge. Surge, not Sarge. Sorry, Surge. Lieutenant Surge. My bad. Because it's like electric Pokemons. Yeah, okay. I wasn't reading. I was just clicking AAA so I could get to the fight. 30 love. I just got to figure out the code to get through the gate, because you got to go through the bins and figure out where the buttons are. It's weird. Also, I don't think my Pokemon are strong enough yet. I need to get some rock types. Anyways, 40 love. All right, 40 love. I'm shocked you're speaking about Pokemon. I'm currently playing Pokemon Showdown as we speak. Hey, nice. Djokovic has an ace and it's 3-2. 3-2. You need a Doug Trio? All right. Went through my old Pokemon games earlier this year. It was a fun ride to see my old teams. Yeah, well, I bought all these games. Some of them already had teams, but I was like, I want to start again. I want to start my own game. I don't want to. If it was like somebody had won like 3 badges, but all these people had like completed the game, so I was like, I'll start from scratch. But yeah. But I haven't played Pokemon Yellow. I've only played Red and Blue and Gold. So it's like a totally different story. Well, it's not really totally different, but it's a different story. And I don't remember as a kid ever finishing the game. I don't think I ever went through the Elite Four, any of that stuff. So, yeah. So that'll be fun. I don't remember finishing it. Which sucks, because I wish I had my old games, but I think I sold them before COVID, which sucks. I would love to play them and see where I was and try and pick up where I left off. But Scott,
where does the Shanghai Masters take precedence among the other 1000s? You need to be playing Pokemon Crystal Johto and Kanto back to back.
Yeah, I'll get Pokemon Crystal's like $150. I can't afford that. Once I finish these games, then maybe I'll get that. But thank you for the donation. Where does this take precedence among the 1000s? I mean, it's not the most important, but yeah, it's not the it's probably on par with maybe Canada, where it's like, you don't have to play. Like, I mean, how many players skip the Asian swing, right? So yeah, it's not a must. I mean, it's a must have if you want to complete all of them, but when it comes to like, I feel like it's lost its shine a little bit since the Big Three era. Like when Federer and Djokovic and Nadal all was playing, it was a big, like I felt like it was a much bigger deal. Whereas I think the last couple of years, it's kind of lost its shine a little. Djokovic is the only one really keeping it alive and keeping it relevant. Whereas, Alcaraz is skipping it, obviously, because of injury. Sinner, he played it last year, won this year. He obviously got sick. Got injured, cramping, or whatever you want to call it. Not injury, but cramp. As with a 4-1 winner by Bergs, 30 love. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's as important as it was. But it definitely used to be, mainly because of Federer Djokovic playing, right? But yeah, hopefully it does maintain its importance. Jams.
It's Cam's stream birthday. 7 years. Congratulations. Oh, thank you, Cam. I've learned so much about tennis since I've been here. You're the man. Happy birthday to the stream. Confetti ball, confetti ball.
Thank you, Jams, with the $10 and the nice words. Appreciate that. That goes out by Bergs, 30-15. All right, Swiatek's going to serve. Oh, she's practicing serves. She's practicing serves. My bad. Yeah, Murray as well. I know she was serving already. All right, 15 love. I'm going to go Swiatek in 3. Swiatek gets 30 love. 30 love. Swiatek serves again. To the backhand of Bencic. Forehand, Swiatek to the backhand of Bencic. Swiatek backhand. Nope, Bencic hit it long, and it's 40 love. All right, forehand on the line. The backhand of Bergs. Slice from Djokovic to the backhand slice of Bergs. Djokovic backhand again. To the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic gets the point, though. Bergs in the net, 30-0. You can get a Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle in yellow version, Cam. It's not just blue and red version. Weston, you're talking to me like I don't know what I'm doing. You're talking to me like you're not... Bro. Why are you talking to me like I don't know the game? And how, like, what do you mean? I'm a Pokemon master in training, brother. I know exactly how the game works, and I've already got 2 of those 3. I got the Charmander already. I just got the Bulbasaur off the lady who was saying, hey, well, I need a nice trainer to get it. And then I got Bulbasaur because she's like, hey, you treat your Pikachu really well. We'll give you this one as well. I got him already, and then I just got to get the Squirtle after I beat the gym. Then I have to go to the cop and say, hey, Officer Jenny, can I have the Squirtle that you caught? And she'll be like, yeah, you seem like a great trainer. You can have this too. And then I'm set. Bro, I know what I'm doing. 30-40, Djokovic got a break point. You think I only know what I'm talking about with tennis? Dude, I am Pokemon master. Are you kidding me? I'm a Pokemon elder at this point. 30-40. Come on now. You're explaining to me the rules of the game that I already know how to play. As that goes out by Djokovic, Deuce. You said you hadn't played Pokemon Yellow before, so I thought maybe you would needed help. 24 hours ago, I hadn't played it. And now I've played it for 24 hours, and I know all that stuff. But thank you for the heads up. Anyways, Deuce. First serve is a fault, second serve. Swiatek won the first game, by the way. And that goes out by Bergs. Advantage Djokovic to get the break. First set. I'll tell you what, it's so easy to get lost playing those games. Well, I was playing and then I looked up and it was like 2 hours later. So what the hell? What the hell? The hell happened? Where'd that go? As Bencic hits it long, 15-0. Now Swiatek tries to get an early break. Djokovic trying to get a break here. Lob goes up by Nole. Bergs misses the smash. 4-2. Nole with the break. All right. Four-two. Now we're back into Sabalenka tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Winner of this one plays Palini tomorrow. What happened to Runa? I think he started cramping. And his body started falling apart. Somebody in the chat might be able to confirm, but I'm pretty sure his body just sort of shut down towards the set, like the third set, which is a shame. I love 15. Djokovic losing the first point. Did I ever play Pokemon Stadium? No, I didn't have a 64 growing up. I only had a Game Boy and a Sega Genesis. And then I had an Xbox, and then I had a PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 1, and then I had a PS4 now. And now I have a Nintendo Switch because I'm an adult and I can buy I have adult money. So I can buy toys. Like every adult should. 15:30 here. Swiatek a chance to get the break. As the return goes in the net by Swiatek and 30-0. I had a Mega Drive and Game Gear. Well, yes, Genesis, Mega Drive, they're the same thing. I had a Mega Drive as well. That was like my first console. And then we got a PlayStation 1, and then we got an Xbox, and then I got a PlayStation 3 when I could afford to get one, and then I bought a second-hand PlayStation 4 during COVID. And then I bought a Switch. Backhand goes down the line into the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand to the forehand of Bergs. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs slice winner down the line. Okay. He went to do the drop shot and then he hit that slice forehand like sneaky shot. 15:30. Love that. No PS5. Bro, I can't justify spending $500 second hand on a PS5. I can't get it. I don't know. Why would I need a PS5 anyway? I'm playing like old games. So I don't need no PS5. I can't. They're too expensive. PS4 is plenty, PS4 is fine. All I need a PS4 for is to play movies. I use it as a movie player more than anything. Forehand goes wide by Nole. All right, 15:40. Chance to get the break back, Bergs. Djokovic is struggling already. Physically struggling already. Bencic hits it out, by the way. Deuce. Play Red Dead Redemption 2 again? No, I already played that. Gaming in general is too expensive nowadays. It's crazy. Yeah. First serve is a fault, second serve. Are you going to get Z to A? Nah, I looked at it and I thought, nah, probably not. I'll wait until I see what the reviews are. I don't really want to spend $90 on a game that I'm not super keen to play. I don't know. Anyways, backhand from Bergs into the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs to the backhand. To the forehand of Djokovic. Again, the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand down the middle. Bergs goes cross court. Djokovic gets on the stretch. Bergs forehand again goes in the net though. 30-40. Advantage Bencic, by the way. $30-40. Yeah, you can play old games on the Nintendo Switch, but it just doesn't feel the same. Like, it's not as fun playing, you know. You can't play old Pokemon games on the Switch, though. You can only play old, like, Mario games and stuff. 30-40, and I've tried, and it's just not the same. All right, 30-40. As Djokovic serves a fault second serve. Serving to the backhand of Bergs. Backhand now Djokovic to the backhand of Bergs. Bergs hits it wide. We get the deuce. Nole survives. All right, deuce. Now advantage Swiatek to the break. Djokovic, by the way, hits backhand wide. Advantage Bergs to get back on serve. All right, Swiatek's also got a break point. As Bencic forehand to the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand of Bencic to the backhand of Swiatek. Bencic again to the backhand of Swiatek. It's Bencic backhand again. Into the forehand of Swiatek. Bencic forehand in the net. There it is. Break. 2-love. Swiatek gets the break. Djokovic with the backhand. Into the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand again. To the backhand of Bergs. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Cross court the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic with the backhand again to the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand on the stretch. Bergs comes in the net with a volley. Djokovic with a lob. Oh, it's going to go in. Bergs runs around, hits a forehand. Djokovic is there with a slice. Good hustle from Nole. As he hits the backhand again. Into the slice of Bergs. Djokovic backhand slice comes to the net. Into the backhand of Bergs, who hits it in the net. There it is. Djokovic gets back to deuce. Grabs his ankle. Bergs, by the way, probably should have won that point 3 times. All right, deuce. Love the commentary, but I feel like you're being a little too hard on Novak. He is third in the world and it's 38. It is normal to see struggling more than the young ones. Yeah, but I get that. But it's a thing that everybody's been struggling. So it's not just, well, Djokovic is 38, so he's struggling and everybody else is fine. Like a lot of players have struggled this week. So mentioning the struggles is not a thing about his age for me. Like, he is one of many players this week that has struggled with these conditions. Djokovic gets a time violation. He'll take it. He's fine with that. But you're right. Like, if this was a normal situation where Djokovic was the only one struggling, I'd be like, yeah, maybe it is because he's older than everybody and the young guys are, are more, fitter at the moment. But everybody's, like, so many players have been struggling that you wouldn't expect physically, and Djokovic is on that list. But he's the one that's winning, whereas all those guys are losing. So that shows you something. But it's a fact, right? Djokovic is struggling. Why are you picking on old man? All right, Eric, you're just trying to pick a fight. I wasn't talking to you. Back off. All right, advantage, Djokovic. Again, Nole hands on knees. Swiatek 30-15, by the way. All right, Djokovic for a 5-2 lead. And the return goes to the forehand of Djokovic, back into Bergs. Into the forehand of Djokovic is Bergs slice. Djokovic drop shot. Bergs going to get there. Hit a slice down the line. Djokovic puts up a lob. Bergs puts away the smash. All right, back to deuce. And again, Nole is just struggling physically to breathe. He is mouth breathing. And his uncle is on the phone. He's like, I don't care. Why does his uncle look like a 1970s Vegas pit boss? He's got the glasses. Just needs a massive cigar and put him back into like Vegas. Like put him in Casino, that movie from the 90s. You know that Scorsese movie, Casino? He looks like he should be in that. Ace out wide, Nole advantage. He's got those like tinted glasses. Oh, now they're showing him on the TV like they're listening. Tennis TV, we know you're listening. It looks like he just looks like a mafia guy. He's just missing the cigarette in the cigar or something. Just got the outfit. All right, advantage Djokovic. He serves a fault. Second serve. Swiatek, by the way, comes to the net. Benjic puts up a lob. And Swiatek bounce, smash. Gets a 3-love. Swiatek cruising. All right, advantage Djokovic. Go to 5-2. Serve to the front of Bergs. Return the front of Djokovic. Bergs, backhand on the stretch. In the net. 5-2, Nole. And again, like I said, chat, it's fine. Like, Djokovic can get away with beating these guys, even though physically he looks like he's going to pass out, really. Let's not even exaggerate. Like, it looks like Nole is going to faint. Like, it's scary. But what happens when he plays De Minaur? What happens if he plays Medvedev, right? These guys that are going to push his physicality to the limits. Bergs is doing a good job of doing that. Munar did that as well. But those guys are not on the same level as Medvedev and De Minaur when it comes to physicality and athleticism. Like, Djokovic is going to have, if he's like this in the final. Now, if he's by the final, he might be better and he might feel better and he might be okay. But by the time we get to the final, if he's this, he's not going to win. He's not going to beat them. Because those guys are going to, unless they have their own issues, which Medvedev has. But like I said, De Minaur's got to be Djokovic's worst nightmare in this condition, right? Because De Minaur is going to push Djokovic. Like, what Bergs is doing tonight, 10 times more for Demon. Demon's going to make Djokovic work 10 times harder. How's he going to beat him? I don't know. So if you're Djokovic, you're definitely hoping that De Minaur loses to Medvedev or FAA. Or Rinderknech, Nish, you know. But yeah, I mean, and Djokovic is doing a hell of a job because a lot of players have lost from this tournament taking out their energy. And Djokovic keeps winning, which again is why he's the greatest, right? But he hasn't played the best athletes yet. It's only going to get harder, right? The next match he's playing a quali, which is, again, that's nice. It's still not going to be easy if the physicality is an issue. But then if he plays Demon in De Minaur is the one that I'm looking to go, and he is the toughest task. If Djokovic plays Demon in the final, maybe Nole. I don't know. I don't know. All right, 5-2, Djokovic leads. And Bergs puts in the net, love 15. Hope he doesn't retire. Look, I'll tell you this. Djokovic, I don't think Djokovic is going to quit. He's not going to retire this tournament. That's not going to happen. He's already played 2 matches, and this is the 3rd time now in a row that we've watched him, and he's looked spent. If he hasn't decided, man, I can't do this, he's going to play all the way through. Win or lose this tournament. I don't think he's going to retire or withdraw. I think he's going to either win or lose this tournament. Because, he looked way worse. He didn't look great tonight, but physically, not game-wise, he looks fine. But energy-wise, he doesn't look great. The Munar match, he looked terrible. And if there was ever a time for him to be like, I can't do this, it would have been at the start of the 3rd set in that match. And he won, right? He played and he won. So if he wasn't going to retire then, he's not going to retire. I don't think. He's not going to pull out of this tournament. He's just going to battle through and either win or lose. You know? I love 30. As Bergs double faults, love 40. Some charity helps. Love 40. Djokovic take the first set. There's a bit of let from Bergs. Also 40-30. Swiatek with the break 3 love. Ace from Bergs. He saves 1, 15-30. Or 15-40. And Swiatek gets the deuce. Bergs with another ace, 30-40. Hey, Lynn, thanks for the 37 months. Appreciate that. All right, still set point for Djokovic, 30-40. There's Bergs with another ace, all right. Deuce. Anisimova knew she couldn't handle these conditions. No, Anisimova had a calf muscle issue. Like she had a calf issue last week. Like if you watched her last week, you would know that. All right, Bergs with a fault, second serve. As the return goes backhand of Bergs. Backhand now from Djokovic to the volley of Bergs. Djokovic to the forehand down the line. Bergs can't volley it past him. In fact, it goes straight through Bergs' racket somehow. Advantage Djokovic. All right, Djokovic take the first set. People say the weirdest shit in chat sometimes. Anyways, backhand return goes in the floor to Bergs. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Djokovic hits it just wide and we go back to deuce. People say the strangest things. You gotta read what you say before you press send. You gotta just proofread you. Does that sound... Is this what I'm trying to say? How does this sound? Come on now. Bencic holds 3-1. Swiatek with the break. As Bergs with the forehand in the net. Advantage Djokovic to take the first set. Advantage Djokovic. Fifth set point. To take the first set. Another good serve by Bergs. And Djokovic is out in the return. Deuce. All right, deuce. Oh, Merrick, last week, Anisimova had a calf issue against Gauff and Noskova, but she won anyway. And then this week she wanted to get... And she qualified for the WTA final, so she doesn't need to play. Had she not qualified, she probably would have pushed through, but... Yeah, she doesn't want to be... It's like Alcaraz, right? Alcaraz had an issue with his foot, and he didn't need to play this week to do anything, so he decided to get healthy. You know, whereas some people were saying crazy shit like, oh, Alcaraz is like... He was scared. No, he wasn't. Anyways, Djokovic hits it out and Bergs holds. 5-3, Djokovic will serve the set. People were saying like all kinds of crazy shit about Alcaraz and being like, no, he wasn't scared to play here. He decided to get his ankle right so that he could be playing the rest of the year, hopefully healthy. It was called, being cautious and trying to get 100% because the season's still not over. Shanghai's not the end of the year, right? It's not the last tournament. He's still got like 3-4 more tournaments left. 5 more tournaments left. Davis Cup included, right? And it's 5-3. Djokovic serving the set. And the return goes out by Bergs, 15-love. Also, love 30. Bencic trying to break back. Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand the back of Bergs. Djokovic again. Hits it in the net. 15-0. All right. 15-0. Djokovic serves an ace. Beautiful serve. 30-15. Also, Swiatek hits a backhand wide. 15-40. Chance for Bencic to break back. I can't understand what happened with Runa today. Apparently he was cramping in the third set. So cramping. Physically drained by the third set. 15-40. Break points for Bencic. Get back on serve. Also Bergs with a forehand to the back of Djokovic. Bergs slice. Djokovic goes again the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand again the forehand of Bergs. Bergs goes wide. 40-15. Swiatek hits that one in. She saves one. 30-40. All right, 30, 40, and 40-30. All right. 6th set point for Djokovic. 40-15. Serve. Into the forehand of Bergs. Bergs hits it out. Nole takes the first 6-3. Bencic return is a winner down the line. We're back on serve. Bencic breaks back. All right, 3-2. Swiatek gets broken. All right. All right. Great return from Bencic. Lovely backhand winner to win the set. Win the break. Yeah, the reason why we're not watching more of Bencic Swiatek yet, because Djokovic was trying to finish the set. By the way, Bergs, 12 winners, 24 errors. 5 winners, 9 errors by Djokovic. Again, I keep stressing this, but Bergs is letting Djokovic, and even with 24 errors, is letting Djokovic off the hook by making errors. And Djokovic still looks exhausted. What happens when Djokovic plays someone who doesn't do that? Again, de Minaur, Medvedev, maybe FAA. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Djokovic winning against these, but won't be able to beat the top players. Well, again, it'll be interesting, right? It'll be an interesting match. I really hope he does play Demon. On a personal level, because I'm Australian, I'm biased. But also, I think de Minaur, if Djokovic beats de Minaur to win this title, that would be, especially considering the physicality he's had, the physicality of this tournament, how hard it's been on everyone's bodies, including Djokovic. If Nole was to win this title by beating de Minaur, which will be a physical battle, that would make again, people are probably going to say, oh, well, he hasn't beaten anyone. But if he beats de Minaur, a top 10 guy in the final, you can't say Djokovic had an easy road. At least, had an easy, walk to the title. But then again, FAA and Medvedev are not easy either. But I think if he was to beat De Minaur in the final, that would just prove like, hey, while everybody was crumbling physically, even though Djokovic was crumbling physically, it didn't affect his game at the right time, right? He's still clutch. He still won despite all of these crazy things happening, despite vomiting every other match, despite this ankle issue, whatever, While everybody else was cramping and retiring, Djokovic came through and then beat De Minaur, probably the most athletic player in the world right now. One of them, anyway. That would be a statement. And then on a personal note, if De Minaur was to beat Djokovic to win his first 1,000, that would be great too. For me, that would be great. So, I feel like that's the best final, to get Djokovic versus De Minaur in the final. It's a win-win, right? For tennis, it's a win-win. Either Djokovic wins 101, it's a huge, big milestone, or Demon wins his first 1,000, and that's a huge milestone too for him, right? Or Felix. But I don't know. I mean, yeah. I want Demon in the... I'm biased. I'm Australian. What do you want from me? Anyways, 15-0. Bencic back on serve. $15-0. As Bencic hits it in the net, 15-30. $15-30. As Bencic says a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand now from Bencic. Into the back of Swiatek. As Bencic backhand on the stretch. Swiatek goes wide, and it's 30-all. All right, 30-all. All right, 40-30, good serving Bencic. 40-30. As Bencic serves again. A fault, second serve. Serve to the forehand, Swiatek. Return goes long. It's 3-0. Bencic levels. 3-3. All right, 3-3. All right. Swiatek serving. Serve is a fault, second serve. Also, Bergs is just coming back from the bathroom. Swiatek gets a lovely winner, 15-love. $15-love. And we'll serve again. As that goes out by Bencic on the return. 30 love. I don't like these fixing in WTA. Iga playing 13th seed while Coco playing next round against outside top 100 and like that for 3 years. Really? 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 You really got, come on. Don't make me do it. Anyways, good winner there from Bencic, and it's 30-15. All right, lovely passing shot. 30-15. I'll say this, though. If you're going to cry about Swiatek having, like, a bad draw in the last for the whole 3 years, how could you be crying about anything that Swiatek's done in the last 3 years? Okay, yes, Coco's won 2 Grand Slams, but Swiatek's won a hell of a lot more. Swiatek in the last 3 years, despite you thinking that she's got, that they're fixing it for Gauff, then Swiatek's been kicking everyone's butt anyway. So it hasn't mattered. 40-15. Where were you 2 years ago when she was winning everything? Was that 3? You said 3 years. Where were you a year ago or 2 years ago when she was? Like it all evens itself out. Maybe when we go to the WTA finals, Gauff gets a terrible draw and Swiatek gets a better group. It all evens out. But Gauff could have played Navarro, who's beaten her twice. She could have played Andreeva or Mukova in the quarterfinals, but Sigmund beat her. Also, Sigmund is not easy. Sigmund is a pain in the ass. Plus, both Gauff and Swiatek had to play each other in the semis anyway. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what. I don't know where the whole, it's been for 3 years? It's been like that for 3 years? Okay, and Swiatek has been, heartbreaking losses in finals of Grand Slams that whole time? No, she's been winning everything. What do you mean? How can you be crying over that when she wins anyway? You should be like, wow, they've been giving her bad draws, but she can win anyway. Like, why would you be sad all of a sudden? Come on now. As that goes to the net by Djokovic, it's 40-15 Bergs. Swiatek 4-3, by the way. All right, 40-15. And Nole is looking tired. Good serve, Bergs. 1 love in the second. If Bergs cleans up his game, he could win the second. He just gave away way too many errors in that first set. Just gave away too many errors. All right, Bencic to serve. 4-3 Swiatek. By the way, chat, look, I get it. Do what you have to do to your service action, so whatever you do to make it go in, but Bencic's service action is... That service action where they go like this is one of the ugliest service actions in the world. I can't stand it. It looks so... And look, it might work and it might be good for her and it's good, if it works, hey, who cares? You don't get points for style. But God, it's ugly. It's like such a stop-start... So I can't stand it. It's hideous. It's a hideous service action. But if she serves aces and she doesn't get broken, then it's fine. If it works, it works. But God, it's not pretty. It is not pretty. It is not pretty. Like, just that, like it's just so... It's just, I don't know. But again, if it works, it works. But God, it's ugly. We can say that. We can say that it ain't pretty. But again, you don't get points for style. 30 love Bencic. It's just not, it just doesn't look smooth, right? Serves are supposed to be like this, whoop, and then bang, whoop, bang. Not, like, it's just so, technically, it's just like bugging me. It's everything you don't teach someone how to serve. You go, do this. You're like, no. Hands down together, up together, and hit it, right? You just, like, this really fluid motion. It's so stop-start. It's, I hate it. But if it works, it works. As Bencic hits in that 30-0. But I don't need to, it doesn't mean I need to, if it works, it's great, but I don't need to think it doesn't look good. All right. Djokovic holds 1-0. All right, 30-0. Bencic in trouble. Seven to the forehand of Swiatek. Forehand from Bencic down the line's a winner. Beautiful forehand. 40-30. I seriously questioned why she thought it was a good idea, but the thing is, like, Bencic, if this service action is producing better serves and less breaks of her serve, then that means it's working. It doesn't have to, look good to be a good serve. If the stats show that, hey, I'm not getting broken as much as I was with my old serve, and I'm serving better, then you can't argue that it's not a good idea to have this service action. But it just ain't pretty. It's just not. It's just not. Yeah, it's like someone's forehand or backhand. It might, it might be effective, but it might look hideous, and you're like, okay, well, fine. But if it works, who cares? If it's effective but it doesn't look good, does it matter? No, because it works. Doesn't mean I have to like it. All right. Deuce, Swiatek hits a return long, and it's advantage Bencic. Lindsay Davenport's my favorite service action. Yeah, I like Raducanu and I like Zhang. I think both of those their serves, just how like so especially Raducanu. God, her serve is just such a great looking serve. It's just such a smooth, fluid serve, and it's so effective too, right? I mean, it's the best serve in the game. Like, stats wise, Raducanu's serve is the best, right? And it's the best looking serve. It's just such a good, it's such a fluid motion. There's no stop start from the second she starts her serve to the point she hits the ball and finishes, has the follow through. The whole thing is just one simple. It's so simple as well, yeah. Which is why it's so it's probably so effective. It's just such a it's serving. That's how you would, if you want to try and figure out how to serve. Raducanu is the person you want to copy. Because she just serves exactly as you're supposed to. No crazy arms or throwing the ball up really high or, doing any crazy shit. It's just super simple. Toss the ball up, hit the ball, and do these couple of things on the way. No fuss. It's just and it's the best serve in the world. Look at the stats. She's hit more aces than anybody else. She's probably held one more points on first serves than anybody else. I mean, it is the best serve on tour. All right, 4-4 by the way, is Bencic backhand to the backhand of Swiatek, and Swiatek gets it out. Love 15. By the way, chat, let's play a little game here on the women's side of things as Bergs holds 2-1. Active players only. I don't want to go back to like, oh, I would pick Serena. No. Active players only. I want you to tell me who you would pick, who you would try and borrow shots off. Serve, forehand, backhand, net play, and then maybe speed or defense. We won't go into like drop shots and stuff because, but like, whose serve would you take? Whose forehand? Whose backhand? Whose net game? And then whose defense? And see, somebody's already answered the question incorrectly because they said Isner. He's retired and a man. So wrong and wrong. I said serve Roddick. Okay, again, even you are also wrong. I said WTA active. WTA active, pick those 5 things. Andy Roddick is not on the WTA and he's also definitely not active. He's been retired for like 15 years. Anyways, love 30, Benčić. Current women's players. Go. Defense, Coco. I agree. I would probably go Coco. Personally. You already know who I'm picking for serve, right? Raducanu serve. Or maybe Zhang. Zhang's serve is pretty damn good. She just hasn't been playing well this year, but her serve is pretty damn good. Zhang's serve is powerful too. Strong. Is it a forehand line? Swiatek backhand nowhere to be seen for Benčić. 15-30. Paolini's defense, good answer. Servo Palka, wrong. Raducanu's serve, okay, yep. Maresmo's forehand, half wrong. Because she doesn't play anymore. Siegelman's slice forehand, okay. Sabalenka forehand, Anisimova backhand, Raducanu serve, Coco defense. I like it. What about net play, though? Are we going Mukova? I'm leaning Mukova net play. I think her game at the net, because it also includes like getting to the net, right? I feel like Mukova at the net is just so clean for me. I'm thinking maybe Krejcikov has got to be up there too, right? Townsend, okay, not bad. No, that's a good answer. Good answer. Swiatek forehand, okay. Anisimova backhand for sure, okay. Forehand Sabalenka. Yeah, I think you got to go with Sabalenka on the forehand for me. It's definitely got power and precision, and like it's got to be the best forehand on tour, right? 30 all, by the way. Swiatek in trouble. I mean, Swiatek's forehand's not bad either. Benčić's backhand's pretty good too. And Swiatek's forehand's very reliable, for sure. All right. Return goes to the backhand of Swiatek. Backhand now from Benčić. Into the forehand, Swiatek. Benčić forehand down the line. Swiatek slice. Benčić backhand. Swiatek puts up a lob, but it's long. Benčić 30-40 to get the lead. Backhand, I would go Gauff or Anisimova. Raducanu serve, Azarenka forehand, Anisimova backhand, Swiatek defense, and Coco speed. Okay. Net play Paolini. All right. Net play Pegula. Yeah, good answers. Serve Raducanu, forehand Sabalenka, defense Swiatek, net Mukova. Okay. What about backhand though? All right, 30-40. Break point. Benčić to take the lead. Djokovic falls over, by the way, and loses the point, 15-30. As the return goes, nope. Let by Swiatek. Serve Raducanu, forehand Sabalenka, backhand Anisimova. Defense Jasmine, net play Mukova, movement Swiatek, okay. What about mentality? I think my mentality, I'd pick Swiatek for mentality, for sure. Clutch. Yeah, okay, she has a, certain players get under her skin, but I think mentality, I'd go with Swiatek. I think she's got the best mental game going. Pegula's got a good but Pegula, like the difference is like I'm talking to like Swiatek's got like she gets to the final, she wins, right? It's like when there's certain players that pushed her as that goes wide by Swiatek and we get a break for Benčić, she leads now 5-4. But Swiatek wins. And I think that winning, she got that winner's mentality. Sabalenka made a lot of finals this year, but lost a lot of finals. Swiatek doesn't. She makes the final, she wins. right? She doesn't lose finals, and that's up here, right? The only players there's only you can name the players that she struggles with, more so game-wise, you know. But yeah, I think mentality's got to be Swiatek. Especially because of that finals record is ridiculous. Plus, also, when she wins the first set of 1,000, she's never lost a match. So that's also pretty impressive. That's a crazy stat too. When she loses the first set, it's a different story. But when she wins the first set, she's undefeated in this level of event, which is insane. Navarro is a good answer too for mentality, for sure. Because Navarro is... I mean, she's... The amount of comebacks she's had this year has been crazy. All right, Djokovic trying to level. As Bergs goes to slice and Ole. Bergs comes in with a smash, puts it away. Nice dunk. Bergs has got that Sampras Chapo vibe about him with that shot. I'll tell you what, Bergs is in this. He loves this. He might be down, but he's like, hey, let's go. We'll play 3 sets. Let's have it. Bergs is in this. He's ready for it. All right, 5-4. Bencic serving for the set. Mentality Navarro, okay. All right, here we go. Bencic serving for the set. She was down 3-love, almost 4-love. Djokovic, he's just trying to avoid going down a break. Bergs hits the net, and it's advantage Djokovic. Who's got the best poker face? Probably Raducanu. She doesn't give away much. As the lob goes long by Swiatek, 15-love. Yeah, I'd say that. I'd say probably Raducanu. Coco mentality. Yeah, Coco's got a great mentality too. Djokovic holds 2-0. But the way I'm thinking is like, okay, players that have a great mentality, but also convert that into results and consistently win. And that's, I mean, Swiatek, right? Over the last 3 years, Swiatek has won more than anybody else, right? She's been number one probably just as much, maybe longer than Sabalenka, or just as long as, maybe probably just a little bit longer, right? Again, I think it's, I think Swiatek is you got to go with her. I mean, her numbers don't lie. Like, if anybody had a better mentality, they'd have more. They would have won more, right? Also, Swiatek doesn't lose in the first rounds. Like somebody said that the other day. Like, Swiatek doesn't lose early in these tournaments. She'll lose to somebody good, but she doesn't lose. She doesn't lose early. She might lose in the quarterfinals, or whatever, but she never loses first rounds. And the amount of, what about the way that she demolishes players too, right? I mean, nobody does that consistently. Nobody consistently demolishes people. And not just anyone, like top 10 players. Like nobody demolishes top 10 players like Swiatek does. Again, just different. She just, just different mind, right? All right, 30-15. Bencic trying to win this first set. There's a bit of backhand return now into the forehand of Bencic, but Bencic goes wide. 30-0. Chance for Swiatek to get back on serve. Osaka has a pretty good poker face. She has lately, for sure. Osaka definitely isn't giving away much. 40-love Bergs, as he tries to stay in front in the second. And Bencic trying to win this first set. Bergs with a volley, Djokovic with a lob. Bergs with a smash. He puts it away. All right, Bergs stays in front. Bergs, I tell you what, I'm a fan of his attitude. I like it. I like the way that he goes about his tennis. He is ready for this fight. I'm a fan. He's ready for the fight. He seems scrappy. You know what? Like Scrappy do? That's what he is. That's scrappy dude, you know? That's what he got that vibe. Swiatek gets a win at 30-40. He's got that, like, you know, he might be down against the greatest player of all time, but he's like, I'll get him. I'll get him back. Don't you worry. I'll come back. I'll fight you. Don't you count me out. He believes he can win. And maybe he can. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway, Swiatek to the back of the Bencic. Forehand, Swiatek sliced. Bencic, forehand goes long. We're back on serve. 5-5. Swiatek said, no, I don't want to lose a set right now. 5-0. Almost an hour. When she won the Roland Garros for the first time, she shouted in Polish, wow, no one has ever achieved more. Now she's achieved 6, and people complain. Yeah, but, you know, people are always going to complain. All right. Swiatek back on serve, 5-5. Bergs leads the second 3-2. All right, Swiatek trying to get back in front. As Bergs hits a return wide, it's 15-love. All right, 15-love. All right. Djokovic is a lovely passing shot. 30-love. Also, Swiatek 30-love with an ace. All right, 30-love. Swiatek serves. Turn goes to the forehand. Swiatek forehand now from Bencic. Swiatek forehand. Again to the forehand of Bencic. Swiatek with a slice. Bencic. Again with the forehand to the forehand of Swiatek. Swiatek in the net, 30-15. Djokovic gets a 40-love. All right, 40-love, Norway. Djokovic holds, 3-0. 3-3. I feel you have a crush on Swiatek, Cam. How so? Because I'm stating facts? Like, what do you... I mean... 40-15. As the return goes forward, Swiatek back in now from Bencic. Into the back of Swiatek. Forehand out from Bencic again. The back of Swiatek. It's Bencic back in down the line. Swiatek forehand slice. Bencic comes in. Hits the backhand in midair. And Swiatek gets it back. Now we're back on the baseline. As Bencic hits a forehand down the line. Winner. Nice. 40-30. Good rally by Bencic. 40-30. Bergs trying to stay in front in the second. As Bergs backhand to the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs on the stretch. To the forehand of Djokovic. Bergs backhand open court. No, they can't get it. 30-love. Lovely backhand from Bergs. All right, Swiatek 40-30. Take back the lead. And she hits a forehand win up. Swiatek 5. What is it? 6-5. I can read. 6-5. 6-5. All right, so Rebecca and Sabalenka are right in the middle of my afternoon. That's great. That's great. All right, 40 love. Bergs to stay in front. As Bergs holds, 4-3 in the second. Cam can never win. Always accused of hating or crushing on player. I know. No, but that's the internet. Whenever Swiatek goes for a lob or a slice, she ends up losing the point. Okay. Interesting observation. All right. Swiatek leads 6-5. Bench is going to serve to take us to a tiebreak. All right. Hey, Yugoslav, thank you for the 12 months. Appreciate it. All right. Backhand rally. As Bencic backhand again, the slice of Swiatek. Bencic with the backhand to the backhand of Swiatek, but Bencic to the net with the volley winner, 15 love. Bencic serves again. As Djokovic wins the first point, 15 love. And 30 love for Bencic. $30 love. As the return goes out by Swiatek, 40 love. Bencic to get to the tiebreak. This is a third round for the ladies. For the men, it's quarterfinal. As Djokovic backhand down the line, Bergs gets it back with a slice. Djokovic backhand cross court. It's too good. 30 love. Great hitting from Nole. All right, 30 love. Apparently the service motion for Bencic is to relieve shoulder pain. Okay, well, I take back everything I ever said. I take back everything. If it's to relieve shoulder pain, then that's totally fine. I don't care if it looks like that. Nothing wrong with it. If I knew that beforehand, I wouldn't have been so harsh. Nothing wrong with that. If it's because she's got shoulder pain and she can't serve the way that she wants to serve, if that was a choice by her coach to change her motion to that, I was more critical. But I apologize for being harsh. Because if it's about shoulder pain, then yeah, do what you need to do to make it to be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like if it's helping her be able to serve, then do it. 40-30. As a return from Bencic goes to the backhand. Swiatek, Bencic backhand. Into the forehand. Swiatek as Bencic. Again to the forehand. Swiatek. As Bencic hits it back on the stretch. Swiatek forehand goes out. And we go to a tiebreak first set. By the way, Bergs is serving a 4-4. So is she serving like this currently because of an issue, or is she going to be serving like this forever because of a persistent problem? Because if it's a shoulder issue that she's picked up over the year because of playing a lot, and she's serving like this temporarily, that's fair enough. So next year, will she start fresh serving the way she was, or is this going to be something that she has to manage? Like, is it a persistent shoulder issue is the question. I guess we'll find out. If she's serving like this in the next year, then we know, okay, well, there's some pain. There's Bergs with a smash, but Djokovic is there with the backhand winner. Bergs tried to play stylish, but Djokovic made him look silly. All right, love 15. And if Nole wasn't so tired, he'd be celebrating. But he's too tired. He smiled, though. Who's winning the tiebreak, though, chap? Yeah, Bergs didn't need to do that. It was a silly jumping high volley. And it was a terrible smash. Like, he hit it straight to Djokovic. Like, not straight to him, but he hit it. It was a... Yeah, that was just... He went for style instead of smart. Exactly, yeah. It looked great, but it just was terrible execution. And it went straight to Nole, who was there for the backhand. Left the whole court open. I mean, no chance to recover, right? You have to win that point. You can't... If Djokovic gets to it, it's over. Love 30. Like, you got to put that away. Like, if you're going to commit that shot, you got to commit. It's like running around a backhand, hit a forehand. You got to make sure you hit a good shot. You can't just like hit that back down the middle and then leave the court open for everybody else to hit down. You know. I love 30. Djokovic trying to break here. Berg serves an ace. 15-30. 15-30. All right. 2-love Swiatek, by the way. She takes the mini break. As Berg serves a fault. Second serve. As Berg's double faults. 15-40. Djokovic to take the break. Serve for the match. And he gets a day off tomorrow. So having a shorter match than the last two matches have almost gone 3 hours each. So a much quicker match for Nole so far. As the return goes the volley of Bergs. Djokovic backhand pass. Bergs can't get it. Nole breaks. He's going to serve the match. 5-4. Three-love Swiatek, by the way. She's dominating this tiebreak at the moment. Forehand to forehand rally. Swiatek slice. And then a volley from Bencic. Too good. And it's 3-1 Swiatek. All right, 3-1. Do we watch Felix tomorrow? No. No, tomorrow, again, like I said 3 weeks ago, during the Asian swing, we're only watching 1, 2, 3, 4 players, and then matches that sort of, again, and then some matches that also make sense, like Demonor versus Medvedev. Okay. You know, Raducanu and Sabalenka. Well, Sabalenka was on our list of players that we're going to watch anyway. We didn't watch her today, but she won easily, so we didn't miss out on anything. But yeah, the Asian swing, we're still. I'm not watching it at all. That's why we're not. That's why we didn't watch Rune. That's why we didn't watch Sabalenka. Or we didn't watch Pegula. We haven't watched. We watch Swiatek all the time. That's a thing. We watch Djokovic all the time. It's just we're just chilling. And then the quarterfinals tomorrow for the ladies. We'll watch Swiatek. We'll watch Swiatek wins. We'll watch Sabalenka versus Raducanu. Obviously, that's a huge matchup. It's an important matchup. We probably won't watch Coco if she wins and plays Sigamund because that just hurts my brain already. That's like 4 hours match, that one. I don't want to watch that. We'll watch Demonor versus Medvedev because that's an interesting match between two guys that could win the title. So, Felix should beat Rinderknecht, but Medvedev versus Demon, I feel like that's a match for between two guys that could play Djokovic in the final, right? I mean, we've got to see what they look like. See if they can push Djokovic because we'll watch so much Djokovic. All right, Nole serving for the serving the match. Hits in the net, love 15. But again, we're still not watching. I didn't want to watch everything, and that was the plan all along. Hey, maybe. Thank you for the nice words. Appreciate it. And then next week is actually pretty important because we've got WTA sort of coming to an end. So we're gonna start watching who's gonna start qualifying and stuff for the WTA finals. And then we've got the Six Kings Slam, which we're gonna watch, obviously, because that is a high profile tournament. So we're gonna watch that. And then we go to Basel, Vienna, Paris indoors, WTA finals, ATP finals, and then the Davis Cup, and we're done. Love 30, by the way. Djokovic in trouble. Swiatek gets a return winner, 5-2 in the tiebreak. Swiatek's going to serve for the set on her. It's on her racket now. All right, Bergs hits it in the net, 15-30. All right, thank you, Deja. Appreciate it. All right, return goes out by Bencic. And it's 6-2 Swiatek to take the first set. And Bencic is yelling and getting pissed off. All right, Djokovic to the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic has gone back into backhand. Swiatek serve for the set. And Swiatek serves into the front of Bencic. That goes out in the return. And Swiatek takes the set 7-2 in the tiebreak. All right, backhand still going on with Bergs and Djokovic. Is Djokovic down the line. Bergs with the forehand again, the back of Djokovic. Bergs with a drop shot. It's not great. Nole gets it. Bergs with a lob. Djokovic with the backhand volley. Bergs is there. Djokovic is going to get there with a lob as well, but Bergs with the backhand volley winner. Too good. Great rally, Bergs. Oh, now he's fired up. 15-40, Bergs to get back on serve. And the crowd appreciated the effort. First set, 16 winners, 15 errors. Swiatek, 12 winners, 18 errors from Bencic. Very close set until the tiebreak. And then Swiatek ran away. Okay. Bergs to get back on serve. All right. 15-40. First serve is a fault. Second serve. To the backhand of Bergs. Return winner! All right. Bergs breaks back. 5 games all. After a shocking game in the previous game to serve, that was a great return game. All right. Bergs to serve. All right, 15 love, Bergs. And Bergs serves. A fault, second serve. And the return goes the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand to the front of Bergs. Bergs in the net, 15-all. Ben's just going off at the coach. Coach is trying to help, and she's just like, I'm trying, do all that stuff. You give me terrible advice. 15-0. And the return goes to the front of Bergs. Djokovic with a lob. But it goes long, 30-15. Everyone says Cincinnati is the 5th major. Don't you think the WTA Finals is more of a 5th major? Especially because it's got the top 8? Nobody says Cincinnati is the 5th major. Who has ever said that? I've never heard anybody say that in my life. 30-15. Do you mean Indian Wells? Bergs double false 30-0. Do you mean Indian Wells? Nobody says Cincinnati is the 5th major. I've never heard that. All right, 30-0. Berg serves again. As he comes to the net with a smash. Djokovic puts up another lob. Another smash from Bergs. Djokovic gets it back with another lob. Bergs comes in with a forehand. Djokovic can get it with a backhand lob again. And Bergs with a smash again. Djokovic gets it back. Bergs smash again. Straight to Djokovic. Then Bergs with a forehand. Goes wide. You gotta let that bounce and hit it after a bounce. You can't. Hitting it on the full down the middle where Djokovic is not going to win the point. You can't do that. You got to let it bounce and then put it away, angle it off. You can't just hit it in the air. That was so high, those lobs. Great defense from Nole, but Bergs just making terrible. That was what is he doing? That's never going to, you can't just hit it back to him. He's going to get it. You got to hit it away from him. Also, Bergs, terrible contact on some of those smashes. He was lucky they didn't shank them out. Anyways, Djokovic break point. Backhand to backhand rally. As Bergs hits the forehand, goes wide. There's the break. All right. Well, we gotta go through this, right? We gotta go through it, right? So Nole's back here, right? Right, he's back here. Bergs is here, and Djokovic is out way back, right? He's way back. You can't even see him. He's so far back. Bergs is hitting the smash like here, not very hard either. He's not getting much power because he's trying to time it out of the air because it's like a million miles in the air. Very hard to do. You got to, if it's too high, just let it bounce and then. But then, like, hitting him down the middle, and Djokovic is going like taking 2 steps this way, 2 steps that way, and just going whoop, whoop, up, up. Again, Bergs hitting it on the full down the middle, it does nothing. Nole's going to be there the whole. He's always going to be there. You can't just hit it like this down this part when Nole's right here. He's just going to get it back. Have another lob. Do it again. And then eventually you're going to miss, right? Because that's what Bergs did. He eventually missed. He missed a forehand, which was even ugly. You got to let it bounce and then just go for the angle. Because if you hit it out here, at least if Djokovic gets it back, he's over here and you can then go in the open court, right? Then you can go for the open court shot. But it's a great, again, Djokovic celebrating the rally because it was a great pickup by him. But Bergs, shocking placement of shots. And the crowd's going wild because Djokovic on the point. It was like, wow, what a point. It wasn't like Nole was going like this, though, right? He was just standing here, just going like this. He was standing right in the middle. And great defense, because hard to hit those shots. But Bergs he was giving Djokovic so many easy, just down the middle, nothing smashes. He's like, bro, you got to hit it away. You got to hit it away from him. Anyways, Djokovic breaks. And that 30-all, that was the reason why Djokovic broke. Set up the break point, and he got the break. But if the lob's too high, you got to let it bounce. At least then he could have let it bounce and then got some more power on it. Even if he did hit it down the middle, he would have at least had a bit more power on it because he would have been able to set it up and time it better. Rather than hitting it in the air and just being like, I don't want to shank it, and then hitting a safe smash down the middle. Not going to work. You're playing Novak. I'd rather him have just like try to hit the shit out, bash the shit out of it, and then shank it. I would have rather him do that rather than hitting down the middle, like defensive smashes almost. It was weird. Not against Djokovic. Can't do that. Not a 30-all at 5-all when you've just broken back. You got to let it bounce and then put it away for an angle. Play smart, right? 15-love. Djokovic serving the match. As that goes out by Bergs, 30-love. Djokovic in his last years, why are you still against him? You don't have a human soul. Bro, you are sensitive. 30-love, you need to relax. If you're going to shed tears over what I just said, you need to relax. You need to just sit down and just take a deep breath. Come on. 30-love. Wild. Slice goes out by Nole and it's 30-15. 30-15. Swiatek comes in out with a lovely drop volley winner. And she's got to deuce on the first game of the second against Bencic. All right, 30-15. Djokovic 2 points away from the match. It feels like you don't like him. You also need to relax. All right, 30-15. How did you take an explanation of him smashing personal? I don't understand. I was just talking about Bergs' terrible smashes, and you're like, oh, but Novak, you hurt Novak's feelings. With what? It's talking about Bergs. What the hell? How'd you take... that made no sense. How did you take Djokovic... a personal attack against Djokovic out of that? That's wild. You need to relax, please. Or go outside and touch some grass and take a deep breath. 40-15. The hell? Wild stuff. God, if that upsets you, you probably shouldn't stick around. You won't be happy. You'll be miserable. 40-15. Djokovic with match points. Serve to the forehand of Bergs, backhand of Djokovic, into the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand again, to the backhand of Bergs, Djokovic backhand again, down the line of the net. One saved by Bergs, or one thrown out by Norway, 40-30. 40-30. All right, 40-30. Match point number 2. Serve. Into the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic forehand to the forehand of Bergs. As Djokovic to the forehand to the backhand of Bergs. To the backhand of Djokovic on the stretch. Goes long. Bergs gets the deuce. All right. Novak loser? Yeah, okay, you got pick me energy and you need to back off. Moz, can we get rid of this guy? All right, deuce. As with a fault second serve. 1-0 benchage, by the way. All right, Nole serves again. Into the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand. To the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand again. To the forehand of Bergs. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Bergs backhand again. Djokovic gets it. Bergs backhand again. To the backhand of Djokovic. As Bergs hits the forehand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the forehand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand again. As Bergs hits a drop shot. Nole gets it. Bergs pass. It's too good. All right, advantage Bergs to get back on serve, get to a tiebreak, and keep things alive. All right. Bergs has saved 2 match points as well. Advantage Bergs. Bergs looked very serious after that point. He looked very serious after that point, Bergs. That was a death stare. All right, advantage Bergs to get back on serve and get to the tiebreak. All right, serve again. As the return goes out by Bergs, we get the deuce. Cam said this would be nothing for Nole because Carlos and Sinner are out. Yeah, Joe, you're a liar. So you should leave. You are a straight-up liar. So please get out. Deuce. As Djokovic serves. Get this guy out of here. Backhand rally. As that goes out by Bergs. Advantage to Djokovic. Match point number 3. Also, you're really brave for saying that in the Swiatek stream. Real brave. All right, advantage Djokovic. Cam would never say that. Exactly. That's why that guy's just a straight up stole the mum's iPad to say something stupid. Djokovic, match point number 3 to get to the semis. Serve. Into the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic backhand. Again to the backhand of Bergs. Djokovic into the forehand of Bergs. Again the backhand of Djokovic. Bergs wins the point. Sorry, Djokovic wins the point. Bergs hit it out. Nole's going to the semis. He's going to play against Vacheroy. I'll get the name right tomorrow, don't worry. Nole wins. GG's. By the way, a lot of chances for Bergs in that second set. He was 4-all. He made some errors. Could have won the set, really. Breakpoint benches here, 30-40. But Djokovic just clutched it. And he will now play Vacheron in a couple of days. He gets a day off tomorrow. By the way, Djokovic didn't look great, right? He still looked like he was tired, but he didn't seem to throw up this time. So physically, it was an hour shorter than yesterday in the other day's matches, but he didn't seem to be bothered as much physically, except, he was still like, after a long rally, he looked tired, all that stuff, but he wasn't like vomiting, shaking, like none of that stuff. So Bergs was giving away a lot of free points, which helps, but yeah, Djokovic that was better physically, slightly better looking by Djokovic. Still not great though, because like I said, if he plays those other guys that I mentioned, Djokovic, Medvedev or Demon or FAA, they're going to be real tough, So physically, they're going to be real tough. But he is, he did get through that in straights, and he does get the day off tomorrow. So hopefully that helps him going to the semis. But there it is. GG's. Djokovic wins. Bergs is just, I like his game. I think he's got a great game. Very dangerous, but he's just a bit rough around the edges. Too many errors. Kind of bad shot selection when he could, you can't afford to have a bad point at 30-all, right? Like you play that, like I said, hitting those smashes down the middle, maybe you get away with it and you get another chance against most players, but when you're playing Djokovic, 30-all, 5-all, you're back in the match, you have to win those points. Like that, otherwise Djokovic wins that point, he gets the break, then he wins, And no, it's harsh, right? It's, it's like, geez, what, you got to play perfect? Yeah, you kind of do, don't you? When you're playing Djokovic, even just to get a set. Like you can't afford to give away, to make a and again, it's so in the moment, But he'll learn that. Like this would be a great opportunity for Bergs to learn from playing this match. Like, okay, man, I should have done this. I shouldn't have done that. That was a silly mistake. I shouldn't have made that mistake. And then if he ever gets a chance to play Djokovic again, realize like, okay, even though this is Djokovic, 38-year-old Djokovic, I still can't. Like when it's an important point, I got to play sharp. I can't. I can't mess about. I can't do a jumping smash and like do fancy things. It's like, no, just do the smart thing. Play the smart points, Benchage breaks, by the way, too, love. All right. We're going to merge the streams to make it easy for everybody. But jump on over here, and if you want to keep watching, Swiatek versus Benchage, which is starting to become a very interesting matchup. The first set was so close. But Djokovic wins. He's into the semifinals of Shanghai once again. I'm going to guess he's the most winningest Shanghai player of all time. He's won more Shanghais, I think, than anybody. He's kind of got the record holder here. And he's into the semis. He's going to take on a qualifier. So, again, good for Djokovic. But, again, maybe Vacheron can physically push Djokovic, and we'll see what happens. But Nole gets a day off tomorrow. We'll watch him in a couple of days.